We're going to talk about our first forging experience and using an anvil. It was quite hilarious.
We actually did not film it, but our Ring camera caught it. So
Yep.
We'll show you some of the footage from our Ring camera.
Yep, so that was real fortunate for us that our Ring was right there, right above us to catch the whole thing. And this is truly our first experience. One of our other videos, I think I was talking about how I first got started in forging, and didn't realize at first until you kind of learn the foundational principles of it, how hard it is. We just kind of went off and started doing it, and almost caught things on fire. So we're just going to kind of go through kind of what happened there, and it was pretty funny. We're going to share some clips from the Ring camera, kind of bit by bit, and talk about it.
Getting it all set up, the placement of it, of course, we cleared out a spot in our driveway, trying to figure out where to put the forge and all of that, and we just put it flat on the driveway. Well, that's okay, there was nothing around, but we're no spring chickens, and we realized that the bending down and using tongs and trying to
Really tough.
trying to maneuver all of that is very challenging. So now we have a cart on wheels, right?
Yep.
That we're going to be putting our anvil on, and our forge has a cart or a stand as well that we're going to be putting it on. So
yeah, we actually now have a for our forge, it's a stand that's actually made for it. So instead of working off the ground and bent over, and you're trying to look at the color of how hot the knife is getting, we actually got a stand that the forge sits on. And then we also got a rolling stand that holds up to like 700 pounds, because the anvil is really heavy. I think it's like 80 pounds. So you definitely want something that's pretty heavy, but it actually has wheels that can lock, and that way we can move it out of the garage and back into the garage.
Yeah, I think it's hot.
I think they're doing good. They're riding them, yeah. I can't get it. Here.
Burn through. Got a big oil mess. Thank you.
Just set it out again. Gotta be getting the fire out. Oh, covered. Covered.
It's gonna burn up.
Put a block over it. A block. Get this block right here. That. Grab it. Put the block over it. Then the other one. That'll work. Just put the block over it. Try to pat it out.
It's gonna burn up. Gotta get something over
Oh,
it.
it's burning. Come on. Where? There's a fire extinguisher.
I know, but you can't. That's really supposed to use oil on them.
All right. Well, hurry. I don't know. Gotta hurry. All right. Do something. Take the oxygen away. More. So that. Oh my God. That's probably not the best one to use.
I need something that's more solid. Like a piece of that long tile, big tile in the backyard. Get it. The big tile. Big tile sheet in the backyard.
Okay.
All right, so hopefully y'all thought that was funny as much as we did. In the moment, we didn't really like it, but y'all, I'm sure y'all could see which one was trying to put out the fire as opposed to the one who was giving the commands of put it out, do this and do that.
don't
So-
call on me, I guess, if there's a fire emergency.
Yeah, don't call on her. Y'all could see I was sitting there saying, go get the tile in the backyard, and she thought it was what?
I thought you were asking me to get an entire pack of these long tiles that we have in the backyard, which I can't carry by myself. I didn't realize he was talking about just one of the tiles to smother the top of it. So I'm like, how am I supposed to carry that entire thing by myself right now?
Yeah, I just needed one piece of tile so we can put right on top of it, because you could see I'm trying to smother it out with the bucket, but I was also didn't want the bucket to ignite and catch on fire, and was really going to be in all kinds of trouble. If y'all never done any kind of quenching, what we've learned and what I did know is that there is a quench. There's a point, it's called a flash point of oil, that once it reached that temperature, then it could catch on fire. Because she threw the knife in there and it was in there too long, it caught on fire.
I didn't throw the knife in. I dropped it.
She dropped it, yeah. Anyways, it could have been disastrous. That's exactly why I moved the cars in the back of the driveway, because things like this, especially while you're learning, I've watched people forge in their garage, and those are people that know what they're doing. And then, she also said, get the fire extinguisher. And one thing y'all
Which
may...
we had right there.
Yep, we did have it, because we know there can be chances. You're throwing sparks out. You got forge. There could be the risk of a fire, and so we were prepared. But you just don't want to spray any kind of fire extinguisher on an oil or grease, because I think it's type A or type B fire extinguisher, and type C I think is rated for being able to handle an oil fire or a grease fire, because you could spray it on there and then you can make the fire so much worse. And at that point, I didn't feel like it was time to read. We had to react faster, because what was about to happen is it was going to burn through the really small piece of tin. But now we have, since that moment, we actually bought I think it's like an 18-inch wide solid steel quench tank that is made for that purpose. So hopefully that won't be happening again. But yeah, so it was definitely a learning experience. Another thing in the video is what I've also learned, like again, this is our first time using the Anvil, that you have the Anvil, imagine this is the Anvil right here. Well, I was taking my railroad spike and I was hammering it on that same direction, laying flat all the way against it. And when you're hammering, all I was doing was basically dispersing the hammer pressure across the whole entire knife and across the anvil, so I wasn't really moving much metal. But what I've learned is, picture that being the anvil, that the part that you're wanting to flatten out, that's the only part that you need to have on the anvil and hit with the hammer, because that's going to flatten it out a whole lot quicker. All the hammering pressure is right on that spot and not on where the handle's going to be.
And you don't have so much wasted energy.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wasted all. We didn't really.
It's a lot.
I didn't move much at all. So it's part of the process.
Suitable for lighter forging. So bright orange to yellow. So we might be close there. Careful. I know. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's perfect. So start on the tip. Yeah. No. Flat side.
Oh, I didn't notice.
You want a flat? Here, you hold it. I just want to see if I can hammer it. I just want to see if I can pick it up and hammer it. Oh, I got you. Wait. Do it. Oh, sorry. Okay. I just wanted to give up. I'll get stronger at it. I would think probably holding it, hold the forge thingies up and down, right under the head. Yeah, and that should give you a better grip. And then you don't want to do, so cherry red is okay, but now you gotta put it in. It says if it goes, it darkens too much below cherry red, then it's too cool.
Start something new. You're not going to be a professional. You're learning this. We are complete novices. That's why our channel is called Becoming Bladesmith. And I guess there might be a time where we might have to change that channel, because we will hopefully one day be a bladesmith. But I think, we have a video coming up where we actually took a class from Caleb Ledford. He was actually on the Forge and Fire show. If you want to talk about
He was
that
a
experience.
finalist. Yep, he was a finalist on Forged in Fire, and he also appeared a second time on Forged in Fire. He was really young at that time. He was 18 years old, but we're here on a short vacation for spring break in Blue Ridge, Georgia, and we found that we didn't know it was Caleb Ledford, but we found some knife making classes, and as it turns out, it was Caleb Ledford Knife Works. And we had a great experience. We ended up being the only people in the class, which we were kind of hoping for, so that we could just, consume him with questions and not annoy the rest of the attendees of the class with all of our questions. But it was just a 4-hour class of making a knife out of a railroad spike, which is exactly what we were starting on anyway, because we had watched videos that's a good place to start. It's a good mild steel.
Yep.
It's very user friendly.
You actually don't have to quench it.
Which we didn't know that.
Yep.
You can quench it, and it will get a little bit harder, but it's not going to get hard to the point that a quench is necessary for it to function.
Yep.
So that's something Caleb Ledford taught us in his class, but we had a great experience there and learned so many good tidbits and nuggets that we are excited to get home this weekend and put to use.
Yep.
But that's going to be a video you're going to have to stay tuned for, because we got footage of pretty much the entire class.
Yep.
And I guess a point where Eric claims that I almost killed Caleb Ledford.
Yeah. Hopefully we got that on video.
Didn't happen that way, but hopefully we got it on video. But if
very
we
close.
didn't, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, and one thing that he said, which I like, he said, you're always going to be learning. How long has he been doing it?
13 years.
13 years. And he's
teaching classes for 5 years.
Teaching class for 5 years, so he's really good at what he does. He does Damascus blade classes, and he said you're always going to be learning. You're going to watch somebody else do it, and you're going to learn new things from people. And yeah, just that little 4-hour class, I mean, I've learned so many good tips. So highly recommend, if y'all are in the area, definitely look them up. It wasn't a bad price for the stuff that you're going to learn if you're looking into becoming a bladesmith. And this is just something that me and her just started doing as a hobby to do together. I think that's great. You'll find that spouses, a lot of times, they have different things that they do without one another. And
that's okay.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I think it's good to have something that you do together. Yeah. And so that's why we want to do this channel together. We hope that y'all will follow, do it, so we can kind of grow this channel and just kind of watch us on our journey from complete novices to hopefully, we're going to talk about, we've actually already got a video that we have not yet put together, but it's about making micarta. So we're learning how to do that. And we've got some new tools coming. I got a new, we already have some videos that we need to edit on, watching us do some of the grinding and stuff on our current belt sander, but we actually got a new one that's coming that's a lot better. And so we're looking forward to the things in the future that we're going to be talking about, and just having fun with it. Yeah. And we hope that y'all would just join us on our journey. Again, I'm Rebekah. I'm not Rebekah. I'm Eric, and this is Rebekah with Becoming Bladesmith. And yeah, we're going to have a lot of goof ups, but that's okay.
Yeah, you'll see them all pretty much.
Yeah.